Well, this is different. It's not our usual stock market thing, but you know what? I'm so excited about this UFO UAP release. This is the first release we're going covering here today. And I thought, you know what? I want to look into what the government have been kept under the seal for a long time. So I thought, do you know what? I may as well jump in and show the rest of you guys as I go through it. I'm no specialist in UFOs, UAPs, but we'll get through it together. Also, I have a poll up there. Do you believe alien life has ever visited Earth? Do make sure you vote in that poll. But I think what we'll do, we'll crack straight onto it. Now, I've heard there's quite a few interesting things. I think loads of them are in some of the PDF files. But I think what we'll do, we'll start straight off with the images. We might look at a few PDF files, and we need to look at the videos because the videos are meant to be pretty insane too. So as you get in, do jump in, smash the like button. And also, if you're new here, smash the subscribe button. We're nearly at 5,000 subs. But I don't know. I can't wait any longer. Let's go straight into it. So we have FBI photo A1. We'll go straight into that there. So what it looks like, a black dot on the screen. The Federal Bureau of Investigation submitted a report of unidentified anomalous phenomenon to the Old Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, consisting of a still image delivered by the US system. They've redacted it. The operator reported they were unable to positively identify the UAP. So it's a monochrome image. Do you know what? Jumping straight on into it, I thought it'd be a little bit more exciting than that, but let's hope it gets a little bit better. Going into image 2. Okay, here we go. This looks like a bit bigger of an image. The date and the location of the event have not been provided. The original imagery was altered with redactions. So I don't think they're trying to cover up anything up with the redactions. But before being submitted to Arrow, and the company mission reported was not provided, the operator reported that they were unable to positively identify the UAP. Displays a mottled background with a central crosshair. That's just giving an explanation of what it is. So far we've seen 2 black dots. FBI photo 3, here we go. That looks pretty similar. Unable to positively identify the UAP. Guys, do let me know if you want me to slow down, speed up. What are all these little circle dots? And I'd be interested to know, are they around the same location? Because they're not given an actual location of these. They're not even given the date that it happened on. And again, unable to positively identify the UAP. I hope it's not all like this. Dylan, what have we got here? Do you know how Trump said he's going to release the UFO, the UAP files? Well, Karsh Patel actually delivered the first batch, and they've released them straight away. So we're just going to go through anything UFO, UAP that the government have had in hiding for a while. I've heard there's some pretty decent things in here, but I haven't actually seen any of these images myself. Again, another circle. They all look pretty similar. And again, they're not given much description. They're unable to identify the UAP. Are we going to get any alien bodies? Oh, again, a circle, unable to identify. Circle again, unable to identify. Let's hope it's not just a heap of circles. NASA. Okay. Okay, that looks strange. Looks like a vertical line with a circle below it. This photograph depicts the lunar surface as viewed from the landing site of Apollo 12. Anyone that doesn't believe in the moon landing, why would they keep this in hiding if it was in a studio and it's come on the UFO file? So I think this debunks anyone that doesn't believe in the moon landing. This image features a highlighted area of interest slightly to the right of the vertical axis of the frame above the horizon, in which unidentified phenomena are visible. Image is modified. Oh yeah, so it's just zooming in. So this is the location of the UAP, and that is it blown up for people to see. Okay, that was a bit more interesting than our little circles. On the same mission, Apollo 12, 1969. Okay, I can't really see much on that one there, but on this one, there's two dots, one each side. This image features two highlighted areas of interest labeled Area 1 and Area 2, slightly to the right in the vertical axis of the frame, above the horizon in which unidentified phenomena are visible. So this is interesting because NASA actually don't know what it is, and for them to identify it as a UAP, it's not like a star formation, or they're not thinking it's dust flying around the lunar. So I don't know. That was pretty interesting. We'll go to 2. NASA again. Okay. Okay, so we got a circle one here. Can I get dates when Archer Aviation? This ain't about Archer Aviation, my guy. Can I get dates when they're going to start flying commercial taxi in 10 states? You'll find out on Monday, my guy, hopefully. But from Joby's earnings, it looks like it's pretty hard to actually tell when contracts going to be signed. I think it's around Q3. But look, until we get a transition, we're not going to know, my guy. This photo is again from the site of the Apollo 12. The image features a highlighted area of interest near the right area of the frame. That looks more like a star to me, but for NASA to not believe it's a star, and remember, guys, stars won't be visible when they're standing on the surface of the moon here because they're actually in direct sunlight. So it's a bit like if you're standing outside in the middle of the day, the sunlight's coming down, so you're not going to see stars. So that is not a star. That's going to be closer than what you anticipate. So is it alien spacecraft? What is it? Here's another one. Again, a circle. Unidentified phenomena are visible. To me, again, it's just a circle. These aliens are making lunar breakout. I've seen Rocket Lab. Ooh. Rocket Lab, I'm on fire today, my guy. Oh, okay. So we've 5 different areas. This image features 5 highlighted areas of interest labeled Area 1 through to Area 5. Okay, Area 1 looks like it has a vertical line here with a circle. Area 2 looks pretty weird too. Area 3, these look like they're all taken at the same location. Area 4, I can just see a slight dot. I don't know if you'll be able to see it there on the screen. But Area 5, that looks wild. Because that's not even a circle formation. Is it an asteroid? I doubt it. But could be, but that's pretty interesting. You have 5 UAPs in one frame. And again, they don't know what they are. Okay, this is on an Apollo 17 mission. Looks like a cylinder, Scott Invest says. This is so interesting. Cool, you're choosing to cover this. Thank you so much. You know what? It's not something I normally cover, but I was interested in watching it, or not watching it, looking at it. And I thought, you know what? I may as well record it because I've covered the Artemis missions before. So we've Rocket Lab firing up today. It just got me so excited about space and that. And then when I seen this, I was like, nah, I need to cover it. Scott Invest says, agreed. Guys, do smash that like button as you're getting in. Also, let me just double check here something. Okay, so far, do you believe aliens have ever visited the Earth? 50% says yes, 50% says no. I wonder the ones with the no, are they going to get their mind changed today? If anything, it's good fun. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Apollo 17. So another Apollo mission. Oh, okay. So I don't know if you can see that, guys. There is like a triangle formation. And if you've seen any of the UAPs going around lately, it seems to be this triangular formation with 3 lights on, or 1 light on each corner of the, I want to call it aircraft, but this would be spacecraft. As part of the review of historical UAP materials under pursuit, the Department of War has opened a case investigation. the accompanying NASA photograph from Apollo 17, taken December 1972. Now, what we got to think about this too, this wasn't digital. This camera was a film. So, I don't know. They're not thinking it's just an artifact of the camera if they're investigating it. The image contains 3 dots in a triangular formation in the lower right quadrant of the lunar sky that is clearly visible upon magnification of the image. While this photo has previously released and discussed by keen observers, there is no consensus about the nature of the anomaly. New preliminary US government analysts suggest the image feature is potentially the result of a physical object in the scene. So they actually believe it's a physical object. They definitely don't believe it's a camera artifact. And why is it information? Like, why is it beside each other? If that, it's unlikely to be like an asteroid flying past. 'Cause what, you'd need 3 asteroids in tight formation flying past you. Like, these are all being lit up by the sun as it's going past. Additionally, as part of this investigation, the government has obtained the original film from Apollo 17 mission, and the results of the full NASA and Department of War analysis will be released when completed. So hopefully we will see what they have analyzed this. That was in 1972. So that looks like all the images we've got there. So do let me know, guys. Do you want me to go into the PDFs first, or do you want me to go into the videos first? You're going to have to jump in. Do you know what? Go down to the bottom right corner and smash the reactions. A heart means you want videos. A smile or a laugh, whatever it is, means you want the PDF first. We're going to cover both of them, but let me know which you want first. We have hearts coming in so far. Do let me know what you want. We have hearts flying in here. So we want the videos. Videos could be pretty exciting. There's an audio. Oh, do you know what? If there's audio, I'm going to have to unshare my screen and share the audio, my guys. So 2 seconds. Right. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. Okay, this is a 6-minute long video. You're going to have to jump into the chat and let me know, can you hear the audio? Okay?
Gemini Control here again. Earlier in the flight, you'll recall at the start of the second revolution, we had a reference to several objects that the crew spotted. This was in the area of Antigua. Due to a mechanical breakdown, we did not have that portion of the tape available for you. This was a line breakdown between Building 30 and our news center in Building 6. Since then, we have dubbed the tape off the master tape here in the control center, and we are now prepared to play it for you. It contains references to sighting not only some particles, but as well as an unidentified object, plus the booster. Here's that tape. We'll play it for you now.
Gemini 7 here, USA 98.
Loud and clear. 7, go ahead.
Bogey at 10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7.
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Roger. Gemini 7, is that the booster or is that an actual sighting?
Oh, what?
Say again, 7.
Okay, we have several, looks like the 3 up there, actual sighting.
You have any more information, estimated distance or size?
But we also have the booster in sight.
Understand you also have the booster in sight, Roger.
And we have very, very many, looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
Understand you have many small particles going by on the left. At what distance?
4 miles. Large, looks like perhaps a vehicle that's disintegrated.
Roger, understand they're about 3 to 4 miles away.
They're past now. They're going to polar orbit.
Roger, and understand they were about 3 to 4 miles away.
Trying to appears like. Or further.
Roger. Gemini 7, Houston, were these particles in addition to the booster and the bogey at 10 o'clock high? Roger.
7, this is, Houston, this is 7.
Go ahead.
I have the booster on my side as a brilliant body in the sun against a black background and with billions of particles around it.
Roger, what direction is it from you?
It's about at my 2 o'clock position.
Does that mean it's ahead of you?
It's affirmative. Ahead of us, 2 o'clock, slowly doubling.
Roger.
OS 91. Fox 91. Fox 1. 91, say again.
Right. What I find quite strange about that is
Gemini Control here again. The reference in that conversation to the third unidentified object, of course, or the third object, was bogey. There were several references to the bogey. This is the unidentified object, in addition to particles which appear to be headed in a polar orbit, you heard Frank Borman say, plus Jim Lovell discussing the booster. It was Borman who reported sighting the bogey. This is Gemini Control in Houston at 4 hours, 24 minutes into the flight.
yes, what I find quite strange about that, at the start, they more or less admit that they're scrubbing the audio, so it can't be listened to by the public. But that's actually the most interesting, I think, so far. So the Gemini 7 mission, they reported a bogey. For anyone that thought it was the actual booster, they could say they've identified the booster as well with particles around it. Now, could particles be breakoffs from the booster? Potentially. But they identify a few miles away that there is a bogey there. So, I don't know. To me, that was interesting. That was Gemini 7 in low Earth orbit. Okay, we have Middle East. Unsolved UAP report in the Middle East, May 22. This was the Department of War. Okay, this 5 seconds long. So, first of all, we'll say the United States Command submitted a report of a UAP to Old Domain Anomaly Resolution consisting of 5 seconds. Okay. Described as a possible missile moving across the field of view. Objects not depicted in video as possible birds. Okay. Ooh. Let's do that again. There we go. That ain't no bird. I don't know if it's just my eyes, but it looks like there's frost coming out of the back of that. But then it's just like a cuboid shape. I don't know. Guys, what do you think that is? Possible missile? UAP? What do you think? It flies across the screen at lightning speed, but then we don't know how zoomed in we are. That one was pretty interesting. So the videos so far look a lot interesting, as expected, than the pictures alone. Unresolved UAP report in Iraq, May 2022. Lots of these are in Iraq, Syria, Middle East. There's two thoughts you can have there. Is it like a utilization of a weapon? Or some people do think that UAPs are spotted around conflict zones because they're being watched. So do let me know what you think. Also, smash that like button as soon as you get in. Okay, so 10 seconds of infrared sensor on board a military platform 2022 company report describes a UAP as a probable Su-2735. Center field of view. Okay. What? This is what we're looking at, this white thing. To me, that just looks like someone running across the screen. No? Does that not look like someone running? Let me zoom in. Maybe not. They think it's a UAP, so yeah, but if I looked at that quickly, I'd think that's someone running across the surface. I don't know. That was in Iraq. We have now one in Syria. These are all 2022. What has happened there? It's completely froze on me. So we have Syria in 2022. Described as moving from north to south, this one. Jeez, that's a bad redaction, isn't it? What? Oh, did you see that? It was up here. Right, let's go back on that. Keep watching up here, up on that side. I'm gonna keep pausing it to... Oh, we got it there. See that? That was rapid. Right. Then we have... That was Syria. So we now have Iraq, December 22. This one's flying from west to east. Oh, here we go. Let's go back on that. The resolution ain't great there, but that looks like a drone to me, no? It looks like it's moving at lightning speed. Do any of these... Do any of you guys think these look like alien craft? Because to me, some of these just look like war artifacts. United Arab Emirates, October 23. Okay, an area of contrast remains generally within the top left quarter of the display. Oh, okay. Let me actually stop that one there. That's interesting, not gonna lie. Speeding up, is it? You had one job. He's lost it. That one was quite cool. I can't even lie. So that was the UAE. We have another one in October 23. This one's 4 minutes long. So, a report of a UAP from 0 to 155, there's no content. So, we'll skip that. An area of contrast becomes distinguishable against the background in the center. Infrared sensor pans to the center area of contrast. Okay. So we'll go to 155. Okay, so at the moment, nothing should be happening. Ooh, do you see it, guys? Down here. That looks like it's traveling fast as well. Then we don't know the orientation of the craft they're in. Two seconds. That actually looks pretty wild. Just remember, these infrared sensors, I wouldn't believe there'd be a camera artifact because it's picking up your heat. He's lost him. Oh no, there he is. Could these just be really quick drones? Because they're zoomed in so much, it may look a lot quicker than it actually is. See, we have no telemetry or nothing because they've redacted it. I'm interested to see, do we get any like bodies in the PDF? Without speed readouts, can't be sure. Could be a bird. Could be. I don't know. I think the videos are a lot more interesting than some of the picture. Apart from that Apollo 17 one, I think that was pretty wild. So that was the last one, the UAE. This is in Greece in 2024. Split screen into two viewing areas for the first 10 seconds of the video, with the right side displaying electro-optical footage and left side. Okay. Oh, here we go. Right, that looks cool. Does that look like a balloon, though? No? That one is pretty cool. It looks like a spherical shape of something coming out the bottom. A bit like a jellyfish. Do smash that like button as you get in here, guys. It really helps me out. Okay. Has anything jumped out to you at the moment that thinks, oh yeah, that is definitely alien technology? Because I'm not gonna lie, to me, they're interesting, like to see that it's been hidden. And for them to be hidden, there must be something. But again, to me it looks like war intelligence, so that's why it's hidden. Gulf of Oman. This is the United Arab Emirates, June 24. Inverted teardrop. Okay. That looks pretty similar to the last one, no? And the camera's picking it up. That's also pretty similar to the last one. Scott says agreed. Right. Where were we? Greece. We just done that one. So this is Syria, October 24. Multicolored area moves from right to left. What? Oh. See that top right corner of the screen? Some people believe in them, what is it, cross-dimensional life, and that's what things like that could be, but I don't know. It does look weird, but again, Could that be a camera artifact? No? That's moving in a zigzag sort of way. Ooh, they actually have quite a few videos. This is Syria, October 24. Irregular color of brightness. Ooh, do you see that? Look it up the top. Got our own trades to do. Good luck, my guy. Thank you for coming. Thanks. That one looks pretty cool. Whatever happening up there. Unresolved UAP Middle East. Oh no, we've looked at that one. This is Syria as well. Okay. What? Look at this. Nah, that's pretty weird. Greece, 2023. UAP is a flying near the surface of the ocean, making it multiple 90-degree turns, approximately at 80 miles per hour. Okay. So this traveling at 80 miles an hour. Ooh, okay, there we go. Look, 90 degree. What does that? I am sorry. At 80 miles an hour, what can turn at 90 degrees? Even jets would veer. Look, see that? And as it turns to accelerate, it accelerates off quick. Look. It's like he knows he's being tracked. Oh, they've got him. They've tracked him. That is insane. Is any of this making you think alien life exists? Or is it just interesting to look at? To me, I don't know. Some of them you genuinely can't explain, though. This is right over the ocean as well. Because I often think, like, what if it's a fly or on the screen? But he's lost the tracking. Has he just disappeared? They've lost him. Nah. Has he gone into the water? I'm sorry. That one was pretty insane. I can't remember which one we're on. Is it this one? Okay. Consisting of 24 seconds of video footage, infrared sensor on board US military platform 23, a company mission report. UAP is small circular flying near the surface of the ocean towards land. Again, it's over the ocean. Is this going to look like the circles we have seen in the images? Okay, so flying towards land there. But like, why is it going over Grace? That was Greece. Middle East 2020. Infrared sensor on board the US military platform. Accompany range of Fowler report UAP as a solid white object making erratic movements. Oh, okay. There he is. He done a 90-degree turn at one stage there, don't know. Nah, that's one of your circles again, or your teardrops. They all look pretty the same, but is that because they are the same, or is that because we're just traveling at speed and at a distance? They're struggling to keep up with them. Them redacted things are annoying. They've zoomed right in though. Ooh, they can't get a track on them. No, he's lost them. Right. There's nothing that's like jumping out to me like, oh my god, what if they were just released? What do you think? Like, to me, it looks like I'm looking at. Do you know if you look at a random YouTube video and you find some people have found like UAPs, but Middle East again. You have your boat there. Ooh, that looks like a plane, no? Look at that, or a missile. That was quick, though. Middle East again. 2013, so we're going back. The reporter did not give oral or visual description. Nah. Nah. Right, that's the best yet. What is that? That is wild. No one can say that's an insect or a bird. That just looks like a star that you draw or a snowflake. Oh, look, there's something coming out the back of it. Do you see that trail coming out of the back of it? And what's this shock? I'm sorry, why didn't they shoot these things down? And off he goes. Nah. Look at this. He just holds on the middle of the screen. And then he just shoots off. Away we go. Nah, that one was pretty spooky, not gonna lie. Right, that was 2013. We have 2020. Hopefully they're going to get a bit better then. Didn't provide any written. Did that just go across the top of the screen? I don't really know what happened there. Or is that the thing we're looking at? I don't know. Do you know what? It's laid out quite nicely here, but the only thing is, every time you go into a video, you have to refresh it. It won't let you just select the next one. Okay, so that was that one. So we have Middle East again. These ones in the Middle East, I'm a little bit like, there's lots of tension around here, so I don't know. The original reporter digitally altered the imagery by pausing the video playback and adding a white line encircling an area of interest at timestamp 10. Yeah? Okay, there you go. So far, nothing's like jumping out at me like, oh my god, they covered this up. That's where I think some of the PDFs might be a little bit more interesting. Also, they're gonna. This is on the first release. They said over the coming weeks they'll just keep releasing more and more. If you want me to keep covering these, do let me know, and also smash that like button, smash that subscribe as well. If you're not that interested, that's fine. I'll just watch the next one, or I'll cover the next one myself. Wild. Right. Middle East again. Another one. Oh, you spotted it. There we go. They're all little circles, though. Apart from that snowflake looking thing, there's nothing that I'm like, whoa. I wanted bodies and stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? So far, 67% believe aliens have visited Earth. 33% say no. That thing's taking off quick, innit? I think that NASA audio was class. I would have liked to have heard more audio too. Because at the moment, none of these, I feel like half these, it feels like I probably haven't, but it feels like you've seen them before. Okay, so Middle East 2020. Again, it's a circle, and he's always accelerating. So again, they just look like circles moving. Let me jump further on. They just feel like they're circles moving. I'm sorry, I'm not watching 4 minutes of a circle. Yeah, nah, it's just him moving. Okay, this is Africa, 25. So somewhere different again. Okay, what's this? No report. What? That's just repeating, but I can't see what we're looking at. Is it down there goes? I can see movement here. Oh, there we go. Do you see it? Okay, wait. We're looking down here. It shoots back. There we go. See him there. Okay. they all look pretty similar. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they look similar, because it's the same thing. But I don't know. I thought there'd be a few like up closes. That's all.
Hotel Alpha Alpha, call Bahrain East 132.12. 132.12, Hotel Alpha.
You see him there down the bottom corner. Here we go. Center of the screen now. They're not commenting on it. I thought we were going to get call-outs. Anything interesting? So far, Chris, Apollo 17, there was something wild. There was like 5 UAPs. Then there was one video, it looked like a snowflake in the sky, and the next thing it just accelerates off at like lightning speed. That was exciting. But everything else looks quite like drones or like missiles, put it that way. Maybe I'm wrong, but most of the videos just look like this, a little circle moving. Now, there was a NASA audio, and they report seeing a craft with lots of particles around it, and then to debunk that it's not the booster was the far side of them. So that was interesting, and they said they had scrubbed the audio. So, yeah. So far, the NASA ones have been a lot more exciting than any of the Department of War or the FBI ones. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is just following the circle. And most of the images, first of all, were just little circles like that. But I have heard some of the PDFs could be quite interesting too. But we had a vote, and the guys wanted to see the videos first. Don't we pay government a ton of money in taxes? Why can't we see some 1020p? That was the Middle East. They all seem to be Middle East, Syria. Do you get what I mean? But again, a circle. Ooh. But the majority of these, they believe they're at like 80 miles an hour. Okay, that's turned into like a triangle or so. Oh, that was another one, Chris. Apparently there was like 3 circles information on the moon. A bit like this, a triangle. There we go. On the moon at Apollo 12. It looked similar to this here. So that one we can't see is a drone, the one on the moon. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like on the moon. Look at that thing that just flew past. Again. Look at that. Nah. What is that? That one's pretty wild too. Okay, so maybe we are getting some interesting things. They need better infrared cameras. Need to talk to my honey Sam over at Lightpath. Yeah, some of their resolution is pretty shocking. Oh, that was one we just seen. Do you know what? It's laid out pretty nicely, but you have to refresh it every time you watch a video. You can't just go into the next one. It won't let you click. East China. (2024) did not provide anything. Nah, that's rotating as well. Is that? That one looks pretty weird. But again, when you don't have the resolution, sometimes it can be misleading. Guys, smash that like button as you get in, and if you're new here, do smash that subscribe. If you want me to keep continuing as all the UFO and UAP files get released, if you want them covered straight away. I didn't realize that this was released earlier. If not, I would have covered it earlier. Next one, I will cover it as soon as it drops. So do let me know if you want them covered. I'm not a specialist when it comes to UFOs, UAPs, so I'm just interested in it. Japan. There's two of them. Look, is that your 3 dots again? That's 3 things. Right, we're getting to some interesting ones now. I prefer these than your little dots moving, even though the little dots could be the most interesting ones, but 73% of you believe aliens have visited Earth. Guys, if you're watching on X, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the repost button and also smash the like. It really helps me. Also, again, smash the like button on YouTube. Helps get me paid, you know. And when a man like me gets paid, it encourages me to do more of these. Trust me. Yeah, that one is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie to you, if you can see me hunched over, I hurt my back yesterday on the farm. So I am looking like a cripple. Right. Another circle. I'm sorry, guys. Who wants to see bodies or something like that? Oh, do you see him do like a 180 turn, like instantly? Like we might be deceived from. Oh, okay. Look, so he's flying low. Looks like he's going through them. Like in under the turbines. Mate, he's having a game with this. It's a bit like me on GTA, that flying around the buildings. He looks like he's whizzing in and out under the turbine blades. Is he slowing down? He is, look. But could that just be a drone? But he's gone under the blades. He's speeding up again. Nah. That looks like someone taking the absolute piss, doesn't it? Imagine that was your drone, yeah, and it's been released in the files. Right, North Africa. Okay, show bodies and stuff, if not too graphic. I don't know if there is bodies on it, my guy. I'm just hoping there is. Okay, that looked weird. Again, your two lights. Are these what they call orbs in this UFO space? I don't know. Who thinks Bob Lazar is telling the truth? Look, they look like two flying information, no? Right. That's all your videos. There's nothing there that I'm like, do you know, the snowflake one was pretty cool. The audio was pretty cool. There's nothing there that I'm like, whoa, they kept that on their straps. Let's go into a few of the PDFs. There's going to be pictures and that in the PDFs. Hopefully we get something a little bit more exciting. Do we want to go FBI first, Department of State, NASA? Who do we want to go with first? Would we put a poll up? Or release date? I don't know. Let me pull a poll up and we will see. Who else was there? No one. Okay. Or will we go by? Okay, vote in that poll quickly, guys, and we'll see what happens. What PDFs do we view first? The Department of State's, NASA's, the FBI's, or will we just go by release date? Do let me know. FBI so far is one. Like, who would cover it up more? Would it be the government or would it be the FBI? I don't know. I don't think NASA are hiding anything. Because if NASA were hiding anything, surely they would have used it to develop their technology to, like, go further. I don't think NASA could keep it on the straps. However, the FBI and the government, I think, could. Okay, 2 say FBI, 1 says release date. I'll give it 30 more seconds. So far, we're going for FBI, guys. I'll give you 2 more seconds. Do smash that like button as you're getting in here. It really helps me out. This anti-gravity tech gonna replace our eVTOLs. It fucking will, my guy. It feels like it replace everything, won't it? I don't know. Anti-gravity, yeah. Are you gonna be too bothered about eVTOLs if they have alien bodies and stuff like that? And next thing, aliens come down and they wipe us out. We won't worry about our investments then. Right. We're going for FBI. I swear I had FBI, no? What? Well, maybe there's no FBI. It's either the government or NASA. I trust that it's probably... Because the FBI was images. We've seen the images already. If you haven't seen the images, you want to see them, just go back in the stream. So FBI only have images. So if you can change your vote, go Department of State or NASA or release date. FBI only have images. We looked at the images. Apollo 17 is pretty interesting. Watch it be 95% redacted. That's what the videos were. It's a separate URL, I think, for FBI. Oh, okay. So have the FBI release files as well? I don't know. Am I going to be able to get into the FBI website? Let me just double check. Just because I'm not in the US, I was actually unsure would I be able to get into the US Department of War, but they'd be like, why is this Irishman coming into the FBI website? I'm looking at the FBI website, but I can't see anything. Press releases. Yeah, I can't see anything on the FBI website, not gonna lie. Right. I'm gonna go with the government because I presume that's what you guys meant by FBI. Okay, this happened in July 18th, 1963. Right. Let's see how exciting this gets. If it's graphic, or I don't think we're gonna see any bodies. If we do, and it's graphic, I may have to flick past it quick because I don't want to get my channel banned. But we'll see what happens. What? During recent discussions to the question of occasionally rarely recent, perhaps we should consider the policy question of what we do if an alien intelligence is discovered in space. Some discussion of this occurred, as you will recall, during deliberations of BNSP task. The memo contains some malicious thoughts on the question. The consensus of scientific view says, with good reasons, that the possibility of running across alien intelligent race in our solar system is negligible. This is due to primarily to be presumed unsuitability of conditions upon other planets to support life as we know it. The flying saucer advocates claim, of course, that the scientific viewpoint is nonsense and there is overwhelming evidence of such beings. In my own mind, I find it difficult to side with the flying saucer advocates, but almost total impossibility envisioned by most scientists also is disturbing. Therefore, I present the problem in current perspective as I see it. Up until a few decades ago, it seemed very improbable. What? Okay. Up until a few decades ago, it seemed very improbable that intelligent life exists anywhere outside the solar system. The chief reasons for this were a combination of scientific theory, scientific knowledge, and religious belief. The most widely accepted scientific theory as to the formation of the solar planetary system held that it was a result of the near collision of two stars. Since such a precise near miss of two stars would be an extremely rare event, it followed that there would be very few other planetary systems in the universe. Okay, that is bollocks. We now know this is back in 1963. We know that there is trillions. Apparently, there's more planets in the universe than there is seconds since time began. 13.8 billion years ago. That is a fact. Perhaps this was the only one. Religious belief says furthermore that life was a gift bestowed by God. Look, I'm a Catholic myself. However, why are we bringing God into this? This is bollocks. Yeah, I think there could be aliens, not gonna lie. This was a relatively undisputed point since no scientific data existed to bridge the gap between non-living and living materials. Oh, okay, the situation today is vastly changed in these respects. The most widely held theory of stellar formation would predict the formation of planetary systems to a natural consequence of stellar evolution. On this basis, most stars would possess planetary systems, and the number of habitable planets in our galaxy would be tremendous. Our biggest telescopes cannot resolve planets at the distance even of the nearest stars, so no direct confirmation is yet available. It is now confirmed that there is. In my mind, however, the wide prevalence of multiple stars is an overwhelming hint of support of this theory. In addition, the biological sciences have almost completely traced a series of natural occurrences which lead from inanimate molecules of elementary living viruses. Thus, we have the current scientific theory and data. Okay, so this is just going on about asking them the question, what would they do if life occurred? Even granting a probable existence of much life in the galaxy, there's still a question of whether intelligent race exists in our solar system. It doesn't matter whether it's a solar system or not. There are, of course, two methods of establishing one, some other planet, for instance, Mars. Markings of Mars have been interpreted to indicate an intelligence in presence of famous, kindly a rather narrow and always run one prominent mark into another, frequently round splotches and intersections. As far as I know, no one has discovered a canali which goes nowhere. This quite understandably stimulated much conversation. In fact, a number of decades ago, when scientists thought that any life other than stellar system was very remote, they seemed to feel intelligent life probably existed on our other planets. Okay. The escape speed of Mars is 16,500 feet per second, and of course, breaking the speed on our moon is less than 10,000 feet per second. Thus, Martians looking at Earth would tend to view it the same way terrestrials look at Jupiter. Our moon might not be less work to get to. Okay, so that's just having a question. This before they actually ever went to the moon. Conclusions. Okay, they're saying they don't think they'll find any other intelligent race, but they need to prepare for the possibilities. That, so far, I believe, is a nothing burger. Let's go to the next one. 1952. Okay, this is thoughts on the alien race question. Rarity erasing perhaps. I'm just going to skim through the likes of these because this is back in like 1952, and if they're only asking questions, I want to see what their conclusion is. Look, collision of two stars. So this is pretty similar to what was said before. Is that the same one? Yeah, that must be the same. Yeah, 1963. Did I click on the wrong one? Oh no, that says 1952 there, but on this it says 1963. So that's the same one. January 28th, 1985. Wild Saddle says only one true alien craft has to be real for them to be real and for us to worry. How did they cross the stairs? That's the thing. We only need one. We only need one. This document, Cape reports U.S. Embassy Papua New Guinea received an inquiry from the host nation's intelligence service regarding reports of high-altitude, high-speed aircraft. In 1985, the Cape refers to a representation of local intelligence services as NEO, or National Intelligence Officer, throughout. The NEO relayed to the U.S. diplomatic personnel and residents has been frightened by overflights, which led to provincial premiers calling a public meeting on the subject. The NEO also stated that there has been various reports of unidentified air phenomenon the night of January 24th, including fast-moving objects with lights, contrails, and noise. That sounds like an airplane to me if it has contrails and there's noise off it, especially with lights. Air Niugini pilot who said that the radar had picked up aircraft flying south to north at high altitude at high speed. Cable concludes by characterizing the information provided in NEO very sketchy. He also sought clarification from the US. So this was just an inquiry. They wanted clarification. Were US military aircraft around that time? That's just an inquiry. US never replied to it, so there's no point jumping in there. 1994, Kazakhstan. Pilot and three American citizens encountered 47,000 or 41,000 feet. Object was reported resembling a bullet in flight. Contrails were at 100,000 feet, which was too high to leave contrail. This could again be a military. Enormous intent over the horizon, east and greater on. They watched the object for some 40 minutes as it maneuvered in circles, corkscrews, and made 90-degree turns. Again, it's them 90-degree turns at rapid speed and under very high Gs. That you need to think of the G-force if you're traveling at incredible high speed and then doing a 90-degree turn. You'd be blown to bits. After some time, the object adopted the horizontal high-speed course and disappeared over the horizon. As it was dark when the object was observed, the crew were unable to discern its shape. The light it emitted as having a bow wave and resembling a high-speed photo of a bullet in flight, in which a very small object gives off a much larger trailing wave of heat and light. Some 40 minutes after the initial sightings of the sunrise, and the aircraft flew under the contrails, which the object have left behind. The plane was making over 500 knots. Rhodes estimated the altitude of the contrails at approximately 100,000 feet, noting there is too little air moisture at that extreme altitude to enable the creation of contrails by the propulsion mechanism of ordinary aircraft, which might be able to reach that height. The path to contrails reflected the maneuvers of the object, i.e. circles and corkscrews. That's the thing, like, if it's making like 90-degree turns and doing 360s and staying there for 45 minutes, what aircraft does that? We know jets, if they're traveling at high speed with the afterburners on, they just drink fuel. So how can it be up there for 45 minutes at 100,000 feet doing this? I don't know. And if it's been doing corkscrews and circles for 45 minutes, I don't know many pilots that do continuous corkscrews and circles for 45 minutes straight. You'd be blown to bits. To our suggestion that the object might have been a meteor entering and skipping off Earth's atmosphere, Rose and his crew were adamant that they had seen thousands of fallen stars. So the pilots don't think that it was a meteor bouncing off the atmosphere. But again, the craft are inside the AG bubble and unaffected, in my opinion. Alien must be made out of steel to take those turns, or else we're idiots having to follow Newton's law. If there's anti-gravity, I don't know. You could probably keep gravity. If you can manipulate gravity, you can do many maneuvers and it won't matter. Wait, guys, when I download these, can you see the... Oh my god. I've just realized something. When I'm reading out these documents, you can't see them, can you? Give me 2 seconds, my guys. I apologize for that. I thought it was coming up on the screen. Look, these are the kind of things I've been reading. I'm sorry, guys. Right, let's go again. Right, so... have you been able to see the videos? Please tell me you've been able to see the videos. Because if you've just been looking... please tell me you've been able to see the videos. Don't tell me I've been here for an hour and a half and you've been looking at this screen. And me just looking at the videos. I actually think I'd get sick. Right, let's keep going anyway. This is in Georgia. So when I press this, normally it goes into one of these, but you haven't been seeing it. Right. This was from the embassy in Moscow. It's confidential. Deputy Foreign Minister told them on October 1st, according to Russian Minister of Defense, no Russian planes flew over, or I can't say that word, positions in wherever October 28th, despite accusations to the contrary. I don't know. If it's for attacking, had violated Georgian airspace and had them. Yeah, so I don't know if I trust that. That's them saying that Russia is saying there was nothing in the airspace and didn't attack. I don't think a UAP has attacked Georgia. I think it's easy for someone to say, no, I didn't have nothing flying in the airspace, and they did. Turkmenistan. Reliable partner of the US, Turkmenistan, amusement of the cables offer in a built-up civil society organization in the country become earned because everyone apparently is in. Oh, they're interested in UFOs. Mexico. Related to the way, if approved, would make Mexico the first country to formally acknowledge the presence of alien life on Earth. Okay, this could be interesting, guys. Strap yourself in for this one. So this in September 2023, and it was from the Mexican embassy. So challenge. This is for an election. What? Is this just saying what they would do if elected? Okay, here we go. Congress heard testimony on UAP September 12th from experts, including from Mexican journalists and former U.S. Navy pilot Ryan Graves, who previously testified before the U.S. Congress. The hearing was to debate language on UAP in aerial space protection law, which, if approved, would make Mexico the first country to formally acknowledge the presence of alien life on Earth. Experts asked legislators to recognize UAP guaranteed airspace security and allow UAP to be studied. Oh, okay, here's that body. Remember that. Graves' laminated display looks at the pilots and expressed disappointments of unsubstantiated stunt. Scientists have discredited previous alleged alien corpses. Malson presented as evidence of alien life. Presented that. Okay, so they're still saying that that is untrue, but hopefully we'll get more information on that. Because that was what the journalists put out, remember, and scientists said it wasn't true. I don't know. That was Mexico. Okay, this was 1947. This in relation to a flying disc saucer sighting. Guys, smash that like button if you've just got in here, and also smash that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Also, it helps me get paid, you know, and I can continue doing things like this. Right, let me just double check. Right, I want to confirm you guys can see this on the screen, because I don't want to be reading out if you can't see this kind of thing. Okay, so this was a subject, flying discs, and it was to the Chief of Staff at the Air Force. So, confirming the recent conversation of the undersigned with Major whoever attached this below are copies of the reports and the comments from headquarters on the phenomenon. Okay, analysts of flying disc report. That was on December 22nd, 1947. This was the letter. Evidence is to be made in 3 enclosures. It is Air Force policy not to ignore reports of sightings and phenomenon in the atmosphere, but to recognize that part of its mission is to collate and evaluate the active information. Implementing this policy is desired that the Air Material Command set up a project whose purpose is to collect, whatever. It's suggested that the activities of this project include preparation, distribution, initial report, supplementary report should. Okay, that's just telling what they need to do. Okay, so basic letter is the marks appearing on the photographs enclosed in basic letter believed to be defects in the film paper or camera and not pictures of flying disc. It is requested that no further investigation made on this incident. I attach photographs. Okay, is that the listed below? I attach photographs were forwarded to the office, be very reliable source of information obtained by Mary Heron. She advises these photographs were taken sometime between November 5th and 12th, 1946, in vicinity of Jefferson, Oregon, and points out the formation of photographs as being objects she did not recall seeing herself, but the faults might possibly have flying discs. Okay, so that is probably what they're saying is the artifact. The instant newspaper clippings are submitted for your information and comment. The incident reported in Seattle appeared in the Dayton Journal. The story regarding war weapons developed in Spain evidently was printed in a number of leading newspapers throughout the country. The significance of this article will be dependent upon certain essential elements for such alleged important developments, such as fund materials, experimental testing facilities, and technological know-how. The latter is supposed to be supplied by German scientists. German scientists at this HQ indicate that no important scientists from Germany are working in Spain. This is back in 1946, though. So could you trust the German scientists? Subject to the above, it is requested immediate action to be taken, mark or stamp this correspondence in clarification. Secret. This clarification. Okay, so they wanted it to remain secret. As requested by ACAS2, there is presented below considered opinion of this command concerning the so-called flying disc. This is opinion is based on integration report data furnished by ACAS2 and preliminary studies of personnel of T2 and Aircraft Laboratory Engineer Division T3. Yes. And the opinion phenomenon reported is something real and not a visionary or fictitious. There are objects probably approximating the shape of a disc of such appreciable size as to appear as large as a man-made aircraft. There is a possibility that some of these incidents may be caused by natural phenomena such as meteors. The reported operating characteristics such as extreme rates of climb maneuverability, particularly in roll. And so again, it's that rolling. The action which the craft and radar led to believe the possibility of some of the objects are controlled either manually, automatically, or remotely. Could these be early drones? I don't know. It looks metallic or light reflecting surface. Absence of trail. So there's no trail except in a few instances when the object apparently was operating under high performance conditions. But again, could that be just a manipulation of the air then? Circular elliptical in shape, flat on the bottom and domed on top. So that makes it sound manned, doesn't it? Several reports of well-kept formation flights varying from 3 to 9 objects. So again, it sounds very unlikely that the likes of these would be meteorites if you have like 9 in formation flying and they all look pretty similar. Normally no associated sound except in 3 instances a substantial rumbling roar was noted. Now a rumbling roar sounds to me like a jet, an early jet, no? Especially if it was top secret. I don't know. Level flight speed normally above 300 knots are estimated. It is possible within the present US knowledge provided extensive detailed development is undertaken to construct a piloted aircraft which has the general description of the object in subparagraph E. So they're saying that the US were developing something like that. It's possible that they could be above, which would be capable of approximate range of 7,000 miles at subsonic speeds. Was anyone aware of this? That the US provided knowledge that they have extensive detailed development undertaken on a piloted aircraft that fit that description with no tail, metallic and light. But again, but no, it's elliptical in shape, flat on the bottom and domed on top. Did anyone know this? Any developments in this country along with the lines indicated would be extremely expensive, time-consuming, and at considerable expense of current projects, and therefore, if directed, should be set up independently of existing projects. Due considerations must be given the following: the possibility that the objects are of domestic origin, the lack of physical evidence in the shape of crash recovered exhibits, which would undeniably prove the existence of these objects. So there's no evidence that there was physical crash site of them. The possible that some foreign nation has a form of propulsion, possibly nuclear, which is outside of domestic knowledge. It says what they're recommended to do, and they're awaiting directive. Okay, here we go. As requested, consider the opinion, so-called flying disc. This opinion is based on interrogation report data furnished by ACAS2 and preliminary studies personnel. This opinion was arrived in the conference between personnel and the Air Institute. Okay. It is in the opinion that the phenomenon reported is something real, not visionary. There are objects probably approximating the shape of the... Is this not what we've just read? Yeah. Okay, so in compliance with the General McDonald's telephone conversation to date, a copy of the drawing entitled Low Edit and Flying Disc, designated LD2, because of the patent rights involved, it is requested that record be kept of all persons reviewing this drawing by witnesses with signatures and dates. The drawing should be returned to this office when it has served the purpose, not turned over to the patent's office. Enclosed is also a report to the Royal Aircraft Establishment, which describes the Horton tailless aircraft. The following references are invited, which consider significant relating to Horton brothers. So they were developing one. They were developing one. A recent report from the US military in Moscow indicates that 1,800 aircraft directly or indirectly based on Horton V3 design, 6-engine pusher, having a wing spread of 131 feet and gross weight of approximately 33,000 pounds, are built for squadron use. The Russian version, however, is jet-propelled. The T2 report German flying wings designed by Horton brothers. Are we going to see the drawing? Okay, it includes the drawing. What? Is there no drawing? Fuck off. Nah, you can't leave me with that. There's no drawing. Contacted on the theory of flying discs, is recommended that no action to be taken to interrogate Miss Merchant, that this case be closed. Assistance shown from Lieutenant Colonel Herbert was within reference to social standing and character of Miss Merchant to determine justification and further investigation of her theories. So they still think it was something different, seem quite intent on promoting personal enterprise instead of cooperating to help solve intelligence problem. Comments and suggestions, therefore, regarding further action to interrogate her would appreciate in order to close this case as soon as possible. Guys, you're new here, do smash that like button. Really helps me out. During the recent visit at Las Vegas, I was contacted by Miss Madeline, who described what was termed a novel theory concerning flying discs. According to the theory, flying discs are being fired from a locality in central Mexico from a laboratory which is being operated by Russians. She claims they're being aimed at the United States for the purpose of sighting in an important atomic energy and aircraft instances. General Breton states that he does not have any further interest in interrogation. No knowledge of this case. Suggestion no direct contact will be made. It is requested, therefore, that the name and address of the above mentioned made available to the office as soon as possible. The officer referred was formerly commanding officer at Los Alamos rather than Las Vegas, as stated, and is now stationed at the Office of Chief of Engineers. There is no replacement at Los Alamos, and no information is available to indicate that any individual in this vicinity has more information concerning Miss Merchant's theory than Brentel of AMC, who personally conducted an interview on her. Flying saucers. Commanding General attached hereto information. It is requested that the office be furnished all available information concerning an alleged flying saucer flight sighting made by a radar station in Japan. This incident was mentioned by Dr. Charles Carell during a conference. As arranged verbally with Miss Loden enclosed in the complete file maintained in this office on reported sightings of flying discs. This file is forwarded so that photostats may be in order to provide your command with duplicate set of these sightings. When photostating this material for your purpose, it will be appreciated if one extra set is made for the office and returned at the same time the originals. This file and duplicate should be returned as soon as possible. Restricted data. From a detailed study of concerned report observation of flying saucers selected for their veracity and reliability, it is apparent that several aspects of their appearance have common pattern. Before pursuing its investigation of these objects, any further this requests assurance that no research project of the Army Air Forces at present being outflown has following characteristics, and it may therefore be assumed the recent flying saucer mystery is not of United States origin. So they don't believe it was from the United States. Who is this from again? Air Intelligence Requirement Division. Again, it's metallic, indicating metallic skin at least. When a trail is observed, it is lightly colored blue-brown haze, similar to a rocket engine exhaust. Contrary to a rocket of the solid type, one observation indicates that the fuel may be throttled, which would indicate a liquid rocket engine. As to the shape, all observations state that the object is circular or have at least elliptical flat on the bottom and slightly domed on top. Size estimates place it somewhere near the size of a C-54 or Constellation, as would appear while flying at 10,000 feet. Some reports describe two tabs located at the rear symmetrical the axis of flight motion. That sounds like an early jet, no? Flights have been reported containing from 3 to 9 objects flying in good formation, with speeds always around 300 knots. This oscillated laterally while flying along, which could be snaking. Does that not sound like an early jet, though? Because we got to remember, this is back in 1946. This is 1947. Flying discs. And that's the end of that one. That's back in 1947. That doesn't, like, scream anything out to me at the moment. Where were we? That was New Guinea, that was Kazakhstan. We'd done that. That was Mexico. That was the 1947. 1948. Let me see what it's saying. That's related to the flying saucers. I don't know. I think we'll get more indication as we go further on. 1945, related to night phenomena, flak rockets, unidentified cylindrical objects, and blinking lights. Blinking lights normally is an aircraft, isn't it? And rockets, like, I think that could be something that was being developed because that was during the World War. Let's go further on. 1948. Air Force report November relating to unidentified flying saucers. Again, 1948 flying saucers. 1955. Report an eyewitness account of the ascent and flight of unconventional aircraft in trans-cautious region of USSR. Again, I think that would be a development. If you want to go into any of them, guys, just go on to the Department of War website. I'm more interested in either seeing something materialistic or something more recent, if you get me. Each of these instance summaries includes a checklist on unidentified flying objects that contains details about the incident. Many summaries also indicate witness lists. I spend half my YouTube time watching UFO videos, even though I have no idea if they exist. Do you know what? It's interesting to look at, isn't it? Dave says it does look like interesting reading, even if no smoking gun. Yeah, to be fair, I actually think the PDFs are a lot more interesting than some of the videos are. So this is 1949. What? They found meteorites recovered. Oh, is this like, okay, let's see this. Oh, this just saying what they've seen. Photo of vapor trail left in sky by explosion. Afterwards, a lot of little explosion, one big explosion. Okay, so is this a crash? Strap yourself in for this one. On February 18th over northern Kansas, there was, inasmuch as meteorites have been recovered from it, there were found beginnings April 24th. First, several smaller fragments up to 1 of 4.5 pounds. Then a disturbed spot in a clover field led to digging up of a piece of some 109 pounds embedded about 2 feet in the soil. The stone is what it's termed as a achondrite, a technical name for an unusual type of stony meteorite. A photograph of the trail of the meteorite made by amateur photographer shows vapor trail left. I was standing near my house. Disturbance rushed to chicken house, look towards the house and see it causing. Lowered over the north. Okay, what's this? I ran towards the house and it then lowered over the north end of my house and settled towards the ground. I was then very near, approximately 6 feet, when it stopped, about level with my face, and just wobbled around for an instant, fire belching out of it and sucking back in. The thing was about 4 foot long, shaped something like a funnel. And guys, them videos we seen earlier, it was like a funnel shape, wasn't it? Remember we said it looked like a balloon because it was like a funnel with a vertical line coming out of it. There was a pipe sticking out the back of it. And once it wobbled around, the pipe was sticking to the right and to the belly. Suddenly, there was a lot of sparks showered from it, and the fire increased as if a fuse had lighted, and it took off, and away it went. Great smoke in the cloud. No more than 40 seconds. After it left the yard, in a few seconds or more, we heard an explosion. I then stepped from the house where it'd been, and it was 5 steps. Yes, it was hot. I could feel the heat from it. Had I not been washing my car prior to the occurrence? Wait, was this not at night? Oh no, it was 5 p.m. Okay. I thought, why the fuck are you washing your car at night? bare spot in the yard where the thing started was a great rush of fire from it. Okay, so they're all witnesses. Do we get any pictures of it? Because this just looks like a lot of interesting reading, put it that way, but I'm not here to fucking read 178 pages of waffle. Okay, these just look like accounts from people. Back in 1948, if you want to look at the accounts, they are there. Come on, let's get to some new interesting stuff. 1955, Azerbaijan. Report of eyewitness accounts of sent flight of an unconventional. Okay, that could be interesting. 1950. Reports an unidentified flying object written in compliance with the 1948 flight service. The incident were witnessed by military sources as well as some civilian aviation authority. The report include information such dates, locations, weather, and altitude, plus detailed description of appearance. Could be an interesting one. I'm looking for something pretty tasty. Checklist that it sounds just like what we've read. These are all instant summaries. Checklist of when's that from? 1988. Like, if you want to see reports from people, summaries and checklists of the instance. Like, these are all sounds like civilian reports. Okay, mission report from the Middle East. Report in US used to record the circumstance surrounding its operation. US military services often use misreps to report unidentified anomalous phenomena. General text section. These reports often contain important quantitative context, distinguishing it from more quantitative reports. U.S. military operate reported observing 5 UAP fly across the screen. The report continues by describing one of those observations as a possible missile or possible birds. So, could be missiles or birds. We want to see a smoking gun, guys. Unable to identify. Like, there's nothing here that's screaming out massive cover up. Unable to identify north to south. Interpretation at the time of the event. Such characterization should not be interpreted as conclusive indication of presence or absence of any intrinsic object. These are all mission reports. Yeah, possible. Several bright objects maneuvering quickly west to east. 20 seconds dimmed and disappeared. Like, it all sounds interesting. But there's nothing that's saying that the US are in possession of anything. Estimating its speed approximately 434 knots. Guys, maybe there's no cover up. Now there is files that are going to be released as the weeks go on. If you want me to cover it, make sure you let me know in the chat here, and also smash that like and subscribe button because it really helps me out, you know. Okay, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skip all the mission reports because they look like there's nothing that's happening. Range follower debrief. Yeah. Report in the Air Force 1996. The report describes the modeling of unlikely space booster failures in risk calculation, documenting historical launch failure modes and recommended corrective actions to address them in novel modeling. A launch summary. Just all the launches from Vandenberg. Mission report. Not indication. Email correspondence. Should not be interpreted as inclusive. Like mission reports. Reporting. I want to see something that says like, look, unresolved. Western US event. What's this? Orbs. Statements by several employed by the federal government who separately reported observing them. Summary notes a person reported 4 distinct orbs launching at distance. Translucent kite, although there is no technical data directly associated with them. Nominal resolution. There's no like Bob Lazar shit here. Unresolved. Like I can see what Trump was saying, how like it could be like interesting view. Wait a minute. Is that all the PDFs? Because with videos there, videos. Oh no, but we haven't done the NASA ones, have we? So that was all the government. That was all your government ones, I believe. Because here's NASA. That's your PDF of what we heard earlier. This your transcript. Yeah, that was your transcript of earlier. Debrief for science. Does not fit the theory that it's at least possible that there is extragalactic radiation. What's this? Oh, there is an FBI stuff. How did I not get these? These are eyewitness testimonies. Potential propulsion systems. What were these? Yeah, these were just the images. They were shocking. Yeah, that's 1947 again. That's your propulsion systems. Some missing pages. What the f... Like, they just seem like reports. Eyewitness accounts. I think there could be some interesting stuff in some of these. But they all look like they're between 47 and 69. A man describes circular object. Interview. Eyewitness testimonies. 4768. 4768 eyewitness testimonies. That's these pictures again. Did we see all of them? Yeah. Yeah. Instant, late 25. Oh yeah, these are all these pictures, no? Oh wait, some of these new pictures are in PDF form. Maybe we haven't seen all the pictures, guys. Right. Right. That just looks like the same thing again and again. These are all, yeah, the same pictures. U.S. per statement about UAP sighting. U.S. intelligence official regarding the first-hand account of a UAP encounter at U.S. military facility related to FBI agents. After searching the area with a helicopter, they found a super hot orb hovering over the ground. The orb is reported to have traveled 20 miles at a speed too fast for a helicopter in pursuit. An additional swarm of lights were seen moving in all directions. A total of 4 or 5 additional orbs were seen shortly thereafter for a short time, flaring up and down. This pattern of 4 or 5 orbs flaring up then continued over the next 30 minutes across the area. That is interesting. Sight in composite sketch. Okay, look at this. Actual site photo with FBI lab rendered graphic overlay depicting collaborative eyewitness reports from September 23 of apparent eclipse bronze metallic object materializing out of bright light in the sky, 130 to 195 feet in length, and disappeared instantaneously. Now we're getting on. Maybe you're right with the FBI stuff. This is an interview conducted with a US citizen. So that's about that account. This is another sighting. First-hand account. Metallic grey in colour. Another sighting, bright light over the horizon. (1947). Memorandums of correspondence related to flying saucer and those that mark concern air material. Oh no, we're going to the Department of War again. That was 1948. So I think we've been through all of them. Let me just go through make sure we haven't missed any bodies or anything. They're all mission reports. Correspondence describing the content of the mission report. Like, there's nothing that's Strait of Hormuz. There was a mission. Unsolved UAP report. Unsolved reports. Unsolved reports. (1952) increased report the sightings. Unresolved reports, and nothing to say. Guys, there's not really that, oh my god, what has happened? It was interesting. I know what Trump was saying, like, you'll be that surprised when you see it, but we're none the wiser. There was no, like, big cover up and they have all this stuff. No, that could come out in the next one. They could be, like, you'd be pretty disappointed if they give all the bodies and stuff like that and then they release this after. But I don't know. It's not like a series where, like, we're trying to keep up. We just want to know, don't we? There's nothing there that I'm like, raw. Now, the only thing is, like, we had that snowflake video. We had that NASA audio was pretty interesting. But again, it's just people seeing things and reporting stuff. So there's no, like, massive evidence. Most of the photos are just, like, little circles. I don't know. The one on the moon was pretty interesting. Apollo 17. I thought that was probably the coolest. I think that snowflake one was pretty cool. There's a few things doing, like, 90-degree turns on video, but I don't know. I'm disappointed. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. But yeah, it was quite interesting to just do it with you guys because I was just going to go and look at them myself and I thought, well, look, maybe some of you might be interested in doing it. Yeah. That was strange. Guys, do smash that like button. Let me know what you thought about the UAPs and the UFOs. The only picture of an alien we got was that thing in Mexico that we had already seen. I don't know. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you disappointed? Are you happy that there is no cover up? I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. We're none the wiser. Right, guys, smash that like button. I might be back later on. But yeah, we'll see you in a bit.